For the past 60 years, WDBJ has been the #1 television station here in Roanoke. People have such a strong connection to the CBS station that they see the company's employees almost like family. For many who watched the murders live on TV yesterday, it was like watching friends lose their lives.
Just to show our love and our respect.
You can see feelings of sadness expressed throughout the region, from Rocky Mount, near where the shootings happened, to Roanoke.
It's just overwhelming.
At WDBJ, people brought in a steady stream of gifts and sentiments.
When you wake up in the morning, you feel like you're waking up, to somebody you know.
Wednesday morning, during a live interview, former WDBJ employee Vester Lee Flanagan shot and killed photojournalist Adam Ward and reporter Allison Parker.
I loved her on live broadcasts. They were so personal and so in-depth.
WDBJ General Manager Jeff Marks said there is no truth to any of the allegations Flanagan made against employees or the station.
I'm angry at cowardice. I'm angry at the system, which didn't have a place for this man to be taken care of. I'm angry for lives cut short. I'm angry for all the people in my building who are suffering.
Please join us now in a moment of silence.
Choking back tears, the morning news team got through today's broadcast, focusing on their job at hand to deliver the news and serve this community.
It's not just our loss, it's this whole area's loss. They're from this area. They have roots in this area.
The anguish and sadness over 2 lives cut short, shared by a city and beyond.
We are a community. We are a family. If we're not, then what are we doing here? What are we doing on this earth? I don't understand what's happening in this country.
In Roanoke, Peggy Fox, WUSA 9.
You're moving your legs. I'm right here with you.
Hope is what Sue Diviney clings to since the dark day when her son Ryan was brutally beaten at college.
Every little thing makes me recognize what he's lost.
Ryan was 20 years old, a sophomore in pre-law at West Virginia University when 2 young men nearly killed him.
Ryan was backpedaling out of the way. Next thing you know, one kid sucker punched him, knocked him out, and another kid walked up and kicked him in the head. It was described as like he was punting a football.
5 years after the beating, Ryan Diviney is still in a partially vegetative state. His eyelids won't close on their own, so they're sewn shut for now. But his body is surprisingly toned, thanks to his dad's full-time care and specialized machines, which stimulate his muscles to work.
They know very little about the brain. So my hope is that over time his brain will heal, and my husband and I want to keep his body healthy.
A lot of this equipment, like this $60,000 hyperbaric chamber, is not covered by insurance. It all comes out of the Diviney's pocket. That's where this man comes into the picture. Frank Fumick, an ultra-endurance athlete and WVU graduate, heard about Ryan's plight and wanted to help. So he entered the grueling 12-day Race Across America bicycle race.
I want to really blow people away, and I also want to suffer. I always say that the ending is so much more meaningful when you suffer to get there.
Suffer he did. He wore 2 holes into his backside. In Mississippi, he had to be carried off his bike, but he endured until Clarksburg, West Virginia, where friends intervened and got him to quit. Still, Fumick raised more than $90,000 for the Divineys.
He's amazing. He's an incredible, crazy, but incredible man.
Sue says after seeing such evil in the world, for Frank Fumick to go to such extremes to help a stranger in need gives them reason to believe in miracles.
Love you.
In Ashburn, Peggy Fox, WUSA 9. Well, that's right. About 7:30 yesterday morning, smoke and flames were coming from the top of that utility pole. Several people saw it, but no 911 calls were made. And then Kathy Byman came walking along. She happens to be a friend of mine. She was walking along with her dog, saw a burning piece of wood on the ground, looked up, saw smoke coming from the utility pole. She ran, then heard a boom.
6 or 8 steps it felt like, and my legs locked up, and I couldn't move anymore, and I went down.
You fell?
I fell.
Kathy Byman took her dog Kona for a walk Sunday morning. It was a bright sunny day. There was no warning for what happened next.
She was standing here when it exploded.
Remember that big storm Saturday night? Dominion Virginia Power says it appears the utility pole had been struck by lightning and smoldered through the night.
The ground was all kind of steaming and wet through here, and there's a strong smell of smoke.
While walking, Kathy saw a chunk of wood burning here in the grass. It was apparently part of the cross beam, which has since been replaced. Kathy ran, heard an explosion, and fell in the street.
Suddenly, my legs just couldn't move. I mean, I felt like somebody had grabbed my legs, and I literally couldn't move, and the only thing I could do was fall forward.
And I think she maybe ran right through the water because she was laying in the water.
Friend and neighbor Cheryl Ryan, a nurse, ran to help.
Oh, she was in a lot of pain. She couldn't feel her legs. She couldn't move her legs.
Another neighbor called her husband Mike.
There was a surge of electricity that either went through the ground or the air and shocked her and knocked her to the ground.
An ambulance took Kathy to the ER and she was released in a few hours, but still she has a lot of pain in her hips and legs. She says it feels like a burn on the inside.
Not something you would expect to happen when you're just out walking your dog on a nice summer morning.
Now, the paramedics and doctors that treated Kathy told her she had been shocked. The paramedics said, "You are so lucky." She was standing on two legs. Apparently, the electricity traveled up one leg through her hips, down the other leg. They said, had you been standing on one foot, the electricity might have gone through her body, and the outcome could have been horrific. Now, something she was worried about all day yesterday was her dog, because Kona ran away. It took 6 hours to find him. Coming up at 7 o'clock, we will show you where they found Kona. I'm Peggy Fox, reporting live in McLean.
Hey, none of that fancy stuff. Put you on the bench, son.
Watching his little brothers play some lacrosse brings back old times for Mathew Moody.
I'm trying to hot shot.
But Mathew can't play anymore. At 31 years old, he has trouble just walking. His legs are swollen from fluids he can't get rid of. It all started when he was 26.
The ER doctor ran some preliminary blood work, and within 20 minutes came back into the room and said that he was in kidney failure.
Mathew was diagnosed with a rare condition called good pasture syndrome. His brother Marcus left college to come home and spend time with Mathew.
He's always been, my idol, my role model. He's been, like Superman. I didn't think anything could happen to him.
Marcus wanted to do something to help. He decided on a lacrosse tournament to raise money for the Kidney Fund, which helps kidney patients across the country.
It just made me realize kind of, life is short, it's precious, and anything could happen to anybody.
I just can't believe that he took the reins of this and just went and just blew it up.
On Saturday, 14 teams of U9 through U15 will compete at the South Run Recreation Field in the first annual American Kidney Classic. Mathew had good reason to believe that he'd have a kidney for Saturday's tournament. He got the call on Halloween that there was a kidney for him. He spent 11 hours at Inova Fairfax Hospital getting prepped and waiting. And then he was told the kidney went to someone else in a different hospital.
Oh, he's got a left too.
It was a huge disappointment, but the upcoming tournament has rekindled the hope for Mathew and his family.
Now I'm tired. I'm excited again. I got a little down, but I'm back now, and I'm excited for the tournament. I can't wait to see those little kids going out there and playing.
In Clifton, Peggy Fox, WUSA 9.
With the swollen leg. 2 hands. That's how you do it.